Hello everyone, this is December 22nd, 2018, and today's channeling session is a really interesting one about the power of the sun and the energy of the sun in regards to ascension, in regards to our bodies, in regards to our health. And so, anyways, it's a very good interdimensional off-planet perspective of the power of our sun. Hello everyone. So really quickly before we get into today's transmission, we just wanted to remind you that all channeling is limited to the lens of the channel, the life experience of the channel, and the vocabulary of the channel. So when you're channeling higher guidance, they have to use what you have sort of in your data bank to be able to bring stuff through. So keep that in mind when you're listening to any channeling at all, and always take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And also really quickly, I'd like to touch on how Dianne gets her information. So she channels information and she speaks on behalf of the beings that would like to speak and have messages for to share. And then she also is shown images clairvoyantly, which she discusses and interprets for us. So she sort of bounces back and forth between the two. So, okay, thank you so much, and we'll get right into today's session.
What's happening on the planet is over eons of time. This has been going on, and to be at this place in time now, for the Earth to be at the place it is beyond conception, beyond understanding. It is so vast and so important and so very big, and we just want that to be understood, that these times are that you are living in um, are so significant and really can be looked at as you know, the word amazing comes to mind, but it's beyond that. It's very important. So just know that everybody that's doing their work, the light workers, the people, the whistleblowers, the people that are doing all the behind the scenes jobs of making this happen, making this change. And it's taking many people to be able to make this change and have this happen. This is the concept of this and the levels of this and the intricacies of this is so huge that you can't even imagine. That, you know, to put it all together and have this happen is quite the phenomenon. So we just want you to understand that and know that there are so many working behind the scenes and so many. It takes so much to be able to do this, and everybody's doing their little part. So again, as we spoke of before, don't ever think one person is too small. One person could never do this work. One person could never accomplish this. It takes many people who are on the same idea, the same wavelength, the same thought process for this to be able to happen. So we can't stress that enough, and we just want that to be understood that every single individual has a place and a purpose right now, and for them to do their work and for them to just hold that space and have the higher consciousness to be able to get through this process. It's going to take much work behind the scenes to accomplish what is being accomplished. And we see you as far into it as beyond, again, beyond the point of turning back. So this just has to continue. The momentum has to continue, and all will be good. And so we just want that concept to be understood.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And what I really hear a lot is that, you know, we're not alone. We're very supported um, in doing this. And sometimes being here on Earth, it can feel like, you know, we're so separated and everything, but we're truly not. I personally feel like even though I, you know, can't always visualize it, see it, or truly understand it, that we have so much support, so much etheric support, so much off-planet support, and that we're not doing this alone, and that's encouraging.
That is correct. And when we say behind the scenes, that is part of behind the scenes for sure. That is definitely part of the plan of, you know, getting, uh, on planet help, off planet help. There even the energy that is being given off planet is a huge help. There's so much to this. There's so much more. The blocking of negative energy out in the universe, allowing the positive energy to come in. There's so many different things happening all at the same time, and we say no wonder people of Earth are feeling the stress and the tension, and there's a lot of uh, you know so many opposites happening at the same time. There's the good, the evil, the positive energy, the negative energy, the dark, the light. All these different opposites are fighting each other for the good, and so of course that energy and that stress is going to be felt by those that are on the planet, that can pick up on that energy. And even if they can't pick up on that energy, they're feeling it in their own way, and maybe acting out, or having all kinds of symptoms just from mental and physical, from all this. They're showing me just energy being just bounced all over the place, just lots of energy happening, and you can feel it. You can feel the tension in the air. And
Yes. Yes, I definitely feel that, and it definitely can be quite overwhelming with the intensity of everything that is happening and building, and as well as the sort of we're being hit with frequencies and chemicals and things like that. So yes, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense at this time. So the other day when we were talking, we sort of cut the session off, but you guys started to show Dianne something about the sun, and it was sort of in relation to the water. You were showing us the importance of the energy in the water right now after the November 11th day, where some energy happened around the planet. What about the sun were you trying to show us?
well, I want to thank you for asking. And the reason we brought that up with the water situation, the sun, um, and maybe again, everybody has different levels of understanding and knowledge, but we want to include everybody in our information and explanation. So for those that already know this and understand this, we just want to make sure that we get everybody up to kind of the same speed. So we just want to say how important the sun is. The sun is extremely important. The sun has so many benefits for Earth, that Earth can get from the sun. And when the sun is blocked, it really starts taking a negative toll on the planet. What is happening with the geoengineering and the different concepts that they're coming up with now of blocking the sun and blocking the sun rays, and blocking the energy, and really that's what it's more about than anything, is blocking the energy, the positive energy that sun can give the Earth. It is not a good thing. It is not. They can tell you it's being done for a good reason, and give you scientific reasons why they think that that's a good idea, and it is not a good idea. We just want to say that blocking the energy of the sun could never be a positive effect for the planet. So when we were talking about the water and the energy the water has, the water gets its energy from the sun. The sun is what is giving, the energy from the sun, and the solar flares and the things that are happening with the sun are what's creating the energy, especially in the water. Because again, the planet, your planet is like 3/4 water, and so the sun, is giving that energy to the water and energizing the water, which then is energizing the rest of the planet. So it's very, very important that the sun be allowed to continue to energize the water. We see that things are being discussed and talked about finding ways to again block the sun. So when we talk about getting the energy from the water, we say that that might be something you want to think about doing sooner than later, because the more the energy is blocked from the sun, the less energy the water has from the sun. Water, reflects the sun, and that is what creates that energy. So it's important to know that we're just looking ahead and saying that if you want to have that um, uh, confrontation with the water, so to speak, or the communion with the water, then it's important to do it while we still are be able to get the energy from that source. So that is something you might want to consider. Just looking at some of the concepts that are being planned. Now again, there's no saying that these things will go through it, because things are changing constantly, and consciousness is changing. So, but we do see that is being discussed, and we don't know where that's going to go about
Like by the evildoers to.
by the evildoers who want to find a way to block that energy. They know it's very important, and in small intervals. Yes, the sun can have negative effects. Also, we want to say that the sun can be very strong for the human body, and can affect it in ways that might not be the most positive. But the energy that is given to the humans and the planet from the sun is very, very vital. And at small doses of going out in small doses is also very, very important for the human body and the planet to have. If of course, as everyone knows, if the sun goes away, the planet dies. So it's a very, very important thing. But it's even more important than that, because the energy that you get from the sun, the input, the allowing the what the sun has to offer, which is so much more than people understand, is very important to take that into the body. It's very healing, and in the correct amount of doses. You don't want to overdo it either, because it is so intense and so can be so strong for the human body. But again, small doses of sun is very, very positive. So yes, we just want to make that concept known, and to allow people to get as much sun. Unfortunately, the sun is being blocked, often on your planet, with the geoengineering and all the concepts that are out there for finding a way to stop people from getting that energy and getting that enlightenment from the sun. So that is something to be known and to be looked at. And when you do have a sunny day on your planet, wherever you live on your planet, go out, enjoy the sun. Let that sun just, put your face up to that sun and just feel it, feel the warmth of the sun, feel the energy of the sun. Find a way to be able to, at least, for a little bit of the day, to go out there and enjoy that sunshine that you do get.
How much longer is this going to go on, the suppression of the sun? With the growing movement and all of the light workers and all the work that's being done to reclaim the planet, are we going to have to live with this much longer, being sprayed? The geoengineering and the poisoning of our environment and the blocking of the sun.
Yes, that is all being worked on. Again, the work that's being done behind the scenes that most don't know about. Everything connects. Everything, all as we call the evildoers. I mean, everything connects together. The geoengineering programs need to be funded, and so who is funding those programs? You have to start looking on your planet. It's always important to look at where's the money coming from. How is it being funded? We also can add into that whole concept of all the testing or the experiments that are being done. Who's funding that? Who wants the outcome to be a certain way? Usually the person who funded it wants it to come out and positive into their direction. So you have to always be aware of that. Money on your planet is very, very important and pretty much rules much of what is done. So when you look at that and say, well, how much longer are all these things going to happen? Well, as long as the money is there to fund it and the evildoers have the control, that will continue. But behind the scenes, this is all starting to break away. This is starting to break up. This is starting to break down. So, it's a very, very intricate process of being able to stop these negative things that are being done on the planet by stopping the funding, by stopping where the money's coming from. So that's the core of it, and that is being done. That is being looked at, and that is being done. But it's a process, and it's a complicated process to be able to do that. But slowly, that is being done. So our vision is that as time goes on, and the light workers and the positive people on the planet that are working behind the scenes to change and make these changes are slowly, methodically going through this process. Slowly, the planet will start seeing a lessening of these poisons and situations that are being put on the planet. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Now, are there things that we can do to help get this energy despite what they are doing?
Yes, as we say, when you do have sun and you see the sun, it's important to go out in it and get as much sun as possible. There are again, the water can give you the energy, because the water gets the energy from the sun. The water retains, we want to say the water retains the solar energy. So that's why the water is very important, because you can go to the water, be in the water, be with the water, and it retains that solar energy. So that's important. It's a conduit almost of the energy. So that's important, because that will be there whether the sun is out or not. The energy from the sun will still be contained in the water and will still have that positive effect. So that's important to know. And unfortunately, again, the consciousness of the planet is changing and growing and getting stronger. And what we see is you will start seeing less and less and less of these evildoers being able to create. They also want you to believe that everything is fine and they're going to continue with these programs, but in reality, we don't see that that's going to be able to continue on for much longer as things start to change and be put into place. But people are very anxious for these things to be done quickly, and it just takes understanding to understand the background of all this, of how deep it is and how dark it is, and how controlling it is for how long, that it just can't be done overnight. So it will be a process, but we are seeing that it's being worked on, and we see that it's being worked on in a positive direction, and it is going to be become more obvious to people. The people that are aware, there's still many people who are not even aware of these projects, or aren't even aware of what geoengineering is on the planet, or GMOs, or all the negative things that are being placed. There are many people who don't have that concept, but those that do, it's important that they speak of it, they teach others, and they start showing people just with actual proof, with your own eyes of showing what this is. It will help. The more people that know about it, the more consciousness there is about the situation, and it can raise all the consciousness of the planet, which is very helpful. But for those who know, and they will be able to start seeing that the situation might be getting better.
That's very helpful. Thank you. All right. Well, that wraps up our session for today. Please don't forget to send us your questions that you might want answered in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe.